I want you to know, it's okay to reach a place where you're ready to walk away from a relationship, no matter how long it's been. Sometimes, doing what's best for yourself means letting go of people who no longer bring you peace, no longer respect you, and no longer make you feel loved. So, how do you start making this shift? How do you take the steps toward healthier relationships? It might not be easy, but it's so worth it. The first step is acknowledging the truth of your feelings. If any of the signs we've discussed today hit home, trust yourself enough to know that your feelings are valid. You deserve peace, happiness, and a life that's full of genuine connections, not toxic ones. Next, be gentle with yourself. Letting go of toxic people is not about being cold-hearted. It's about creating boundaries and protecting your emotional space. And that's something you have every right to do. You can still wish them well from afar without inviting them back into your life. And finally, surround yourself with people who uplift you. As you let go of toxic relationships, you'll find room for more positive and supportive people to enter your life. It's amazing how the right people can help you thrive no matter your age. Look for those relationships that bring out the best in you, that encourage your growth, and that make you feel like your most authentic self. In closing, I want you to remember this. Letting go of toxic people isn't just about removing negativity from your life, it's about making room for the things and people that bring you joy. It's about prioritizing your well-being and giving yourself the space to grow and flourish. And trust me, when you do this, you'll find that life is a whole lot brighter. If you're feeling empowered to make these changes in your own life, I'd love to hear about your experiences. What toxic behaviors have you noticed in people around you? How have you dealt with them? Drop a comment below and share your story. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll talk more about how to build stronger, healthier relationships moving forward. Remember, it's never too late to choose your happiness. Here's to living your best life, full of peace, love, and joy, no matter your age. Now that we've opened this door, looking at how your focus, your inner voice, and your daily habits shape your happiness, let's keep going. There's more to uncover, more to explore. Because the truth is, you are not stuck. You are not too late. And there is so much more light waiting for you. Now that we've opened our eyes to how powerful our thoughts, our focus, and even the way we move can be, it's time to go a little deeper. Because staying positive, especially when life feels like it's tossing challenges your way, isn't just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about creating a foundation, something steady you can lean on even during the storms. One of the most powerful tools you have, and it's something many people overlook, is connection. Real, meaningful connection. It might surprise you, but being around the right kind of people can truly change how you feel inside. I don't mean just making small talk with a neighbor or chatting with someone on the phone just to pass the time. I'm talking about those conversations where you feel seen, heard, valued. As we get older, some of those natural social circles start to shrink. We retire, friends move away, loved ones pass on, and suddenly we find ourselves spending more time alone than we used to. And while a bit of solitude can be peaceful, too much can start to feel like loneliness. And loneliness, it doesn't just weigh on your heart. It can actually affect your health, your memory, even your immune system. But here's the beautiful part. Connection doesn't have to mean big parties or joining 100 clubs. It can be something as simple as sending a message to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Asking your neighbor how their garden is doing. Joining a small book group. Even smiling at the cashier and asking how their day is going. Tiny gestures like that build bridges. I remember one woman who started volunteering at a local shelter once a week. She didn't think of herself as especially outgoing, but she told me, it gave me purpose. I didn't feel like I was just floating through the week anymore. That purpose, that feeling of being needed, brought her back to life. Because that's what connection really gives us, a sense that we matter. And you do. You always have. You always will. But let's say your days are quieter. Maybe you're not able to get out as much. That's okay too. Connection can also come in unexpected ways, through music, letters, pets, prayer, art. Anytime you feel like you're reaching out beyond yourself, even just in thought, you're connecting. And connection also includes that relationship with yourself. Because here's a question to really sit with. Are you spending time with yourself in a way that fills you up, or wears you down? Think about your inner world like a home. Is it cluttered with worries, regrets, old stories that no longer serve you? Or is it a place where you can sit quietly with a cup of tea and feel at peace? Creating that kind of space starts with forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Maybe you've made mistakes. Who hasn't? Maybe you wish you'd done things differently. That's part of being human. But carrying those regrets around day after day, that only weighs you down. I once heard someone say, you can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. And it's true. At some point, you have to say to yourself, I did the best I could with what I knew then. And now, I'm choosing to move forward. Forgiveness isn't about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about saying, I'm not going to let it control me anymore. And that's one of the most freeing things you can do for your spirit. Now, let's talk about something else that can instantly lift your mood: laughter. Oh, I know what you might be thinking. What's there to laugh about when things feel heavy? But let me tell you, laughter doesn't wait for perfect moments. It creates them. Think back to the last time you laughed so hard your belly hurt. Maybe it was a silly joke, a memory that still gets you giggling, or your grandchild saying something completely unexpected. That kind of laughter is medicine. Real medicine. It lowers your blood pressure, relaxes your muscles, and gives your heart a little reset. And the best part? You don't need a reason to laugh. Sometimes you just need to let yourself go there. Watch that old comedy show you used to love. Call up the one friend who always gets you chuckling. Read something light and silly. Even if it feels forced at first, your brain doesn't know the difference. It still gets all those feel-good benefits. You'd be surprised how often we forget to smile. It's like we wait for something big to happen. But joy is in the small, silly, even ridiculous moments. And when you let yourself be light, even just for a few minutes, you're giving your mind and body a break from all the heaviness. And that's important because let's face it, life isn't always easy. There are losses, disappointments, physical changes we didn't ask for. Some days are just harder than others. But joy isn't about pretending those hard things don't exist. It's about making space for both, the grief and the laughter, the challenges and the gratitude, the solitude and the connection. They can all live together in the same heart. And on those days when it feels especially difficult, here's something I want you to remember. You've made it through 100% of your hardest days so far. Read that again. You're still here, still breathing, still capable of kindness, of love, of change. You are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. Now let's bring it back to something simple. Something you can do every day that builds resilience and calm, even if everything around you feels shaky. That something is stillness. Not the kind of stillness that comes from doing nothing out of boredom or fatigue, but intentional stillness. A moment where you stop, breathe deeply, and just be. You don't need to meditate for an hour on a mountaintop. Just 5 minutes. Sit by a window. Put your hand on your heart. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly, and exhale even slower. That's it. That's your reset button. I know people who swear by this little habit. One man told me he takes 3 deep breaths every time he boils water for tea. That's his ritual. His pause. His moment to come back to himself. We don't realize how much noise we carry inside until we make a little space to be quiet. And in that space, something amazing happens. Your heart softens. Your shoulders drop. You remember who you are beneath all the to-dos and worries. You reconnect with that deeper part of yourself that's always calm, always wise, always okay. And the more you practice stillness, the easier it becomes to return to that place, even in the middle of chaos. So here we are, weaving together small, meaningful actions, focusing on what's good, speaking kindly to yourself, connecting with others, letting yourself laugh, and finding moments of stillness. None of these things are complicated. You don't need fancy tools or big life changes. You just need to start noticing, really noticing, the life that's already happening around you, the good that's already within you. Because happiness isn't waiting somewhere far off. It's not behind a big event or a new house or perfect health. It's right here. In the smile you give to a stranger. In the way you talk to yourself. In the decision to choose light, even when the sky is cloudy. And when life throws those curveballs, and you'll find that you're not knocked off course as easily. Because you've built this quiet strength. This inner joy that doesn't depend on everything going your way. It's yours. It always has been. Let's keep going because the truth is, you're doing more than you realize. Just by being here, listening, reflecting, you're already taking steps toward a happier, more peaceful life. And that's something to be proud of. Now, let's talk about something that holds many people back from fully embracing joy, especially later in life: expectations. Whether we know it or not, we all carry these quiet little stories in our minds about how life is supposed to look. Maybe by this age you thought things would feel easier. Maybe you pictured yourself surrounded by a big family every weekend, or still able to travel freely, or waking up without that knee pain or that deep ache that never fully goes away. And when reality doesn't match the picture we painted, that gap between what is and what should have been can create a lot of frustration, even sadness. But here's the secret. Peace comes not from controlling life, but from learning to accept it, fully, gently, and with grace. Letting go of expectations isn't giving up. It's letting in something better: freedom. freedom to appreciate what is, without constantly comparing it to some version of what could have been. It's saying, maybe life didn't unfold the way I imagined, but there's still beauty here. There's still joy to be found. I once met a man who used to be a runner. Marathons, medals, the whole bit. But after a health diagnosis, he had to stop, completely. At first, it broke his heart. He told me he felt like he lost part of who he was. But then, slowly he started walking again. Just short, slow walks at sunrise. And he said, I started to notice things I never saw when I was running. Birds singing. Neighbors I'd never spoken to. The way the light changed with the seasons. He found peace in that slower rhythm. He let go of the old image and made room for a new kind of joy. That kind of shift? That's power. That's resilience. That's the quiet strength you carry inside you, the ability to adapt and find meaning even when life changes shape. And speaking of meaning, this next piece is maybe the most important of all. It's something we all crave no matter our age, a sense of purpose. Now, purpose isn't always some big dramatic mission. You don't need to start a foundation or write a best-selling novel to live with purpose. Sometimes purpose is simply this: waking up and deciding to be kind, watering your plants, making someone laugh, offering a listening ear, making someone feel like they matter. That's purpose. And you know what's incredible? Every single day you have the chance to do something meaningful, not just for others but for yourself. Purpose doesn't expire. It evolves. You are not past your prime. You are in a new prime. A different one, sure, but one filled with wisdom, with stories, with depth. You have experiences no one else has. Lessons no one else could teach. And somewhere out there, someone needs exactly what you've got to give, whether it's your time, your laughter, your patience, or just your presence. And when you live with purpose, however simple that purpose may be, your days start to feel fuller. You wake up with a sense of I'm needed, I matter, and I have something to offer. That feeling alone can change everything. So let's tie this all together. Because everything we've talked about, gratitude, positive focus, connection, laughter, stillness, forgiveness, purpose, these aren't separate little tips. They're threads in the same beautiful fabric. They work together. They support each other. And most importantly, they remind you of something powerful. You are in control of how you show up for your life. You may not control every twist and turn. You may not control what life brings to your door. But you absolutely get to choose how you respond. And every single day, even on the harder ones, you can choose joy. You can choose to look for good. You can choose to be kind, to rest, to reach out, to let go, to laugh. Let me tell you something from the heart. Happiness doesn't mean every day is perfect. It means you stop waiting for perfect to enjoy your life. You start savoring it as it is. The creases on your face? They're from all the smiles you've smiled. The quiet house? It means you finally have time to hear yourself think. The slower mornings? That's your chance to take your time, to soak in the light, to do things with intention. You have earned this season of your life. Every joy, every scar, every moment of wisdom. And if you ever start to feel like you've lost your spark, here's what I want you to do. Look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am still here. I still have time. I still have so much love to give and receive. Because you do. You're not finished yet. You're not invisible. You're not forgotten. You are part of this world, and this world is better because you are in it. So, if no one's told you this today, let me be the one to say it. I'm proud of you. I'm inspired by you. And I believe in your ability to find happiness, not in spite of life's challenges, but through them. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are thousands, maybe even millions of people just like you, learning how to be gentler with themselves, how to keep their hearts open, how to live with joy no matter what life brings. If this message spoke to you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. What helps you stay positive on tough days? What small habit or mindset shift has made a difference in your life? Let's talk, not just to share but to inspire each other. And if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even share it with someone who could use a little light today. We all need reminders sometimes. We all need a little hope. Here's to you, to living with joy, to finding peace in the everyday, and to waking up every morning knowing that no matter what life throws your way, you've got the strength, the wisdom, and the heart to handle it. Here's to living your very best life, at any age.